All right, the November jobs report was just released, showing a rebound in the market after a major slowdown. The month prior, the U.S. adding this 227,000 jobs, but the jobless rate ticking slightly higher to 4.2%.
The November jobs report comes just a week before the Federal Reserve is set to meet for the final time this year. With us now, Thomas Savage with the American Institute for Economic Research and Brandon Arnold, Executive Vice President of the National Taxpayers Union. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for coming on. All right, Thomas, start us off with your initial thoughts of the jobs report for November. Seems to be at least heading in the right direction.
That's right. And, I think one thing is that you have to take the October report with a grain of salt. As you know, has been discussed quite a bit, the hurricanes and the strikes kind of created this anomaly. And so reporting was very difficult in October. That being said, kind of looking at these top line numbers, what sectors of the economy are changing year over year over the past 6 months, 3 months. We are still seeing a lot of growth in the government sector and areas like healthcare and education that are heavily subsidized by the government. So I'd be a little bit more comfortable seeing private sector job growth there. But actually, AIER hosted its annual monetary conference this past Monday, where Fed Governor Waller spoke, and he spoke about the upcoming meeting and mentioned that he was leaning towards a rate cut. But of course, he's just one of the board members. And we'll see what the board has to say next week.
All right. Brandon, as we watch a live look there at the New York Stock Exchange, about 2.5 minutes away from opening bell here on this Friday morning, we're learning that President-elect Donald Trump is naming investor and Elon Musk ally David Sachs to the new role of AI and Crypto Czar. That's a new one. David Sachs, talk to us about that and how this could really shape up in terms of policy.
Yeah, we're already seeing a more permissive approach to AI and crypto from this administration, or certainly the posturing in that direction. And the effects have already started to take place. When you look at what crypto has done, reaching over $100,000 recently, it has absolutely taken off. But what I'm most encouraged about is the potential use of AI within the government to make the government more efficient, to flag instances of fraud. We lost hundreds of billions of dollars to fraud and inefficiency, particularly during the pandemic. And if this gentleman can utilize AI tools to begin to crack down on that, we could have enormous savings for taxpayers at a time when it's very much needed.
Trump taking to Truth Social about this decision, saying that David Sachs will safeguard free speech online, steer us away from big tech bias and censorship. He will work on legal frameworks so the crypto industry has the clarity it has been asking for and can thrive in the United States. So, Thomas, this is kind of keeping in line with the advancement of technology. No one wants to be left behind when the world is moving ahead. Is David Sachs the right person for the job?
Well, that remains to be seen because, in the past, in previous administrations, we've seen people that, take one position, and as soon as they get into power, it might change. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Mr. Sachs, but I am optimistic, just as Brandon mentioned, that we're seeing a way more permissive environment. One thing I would like to see, though, is what sort of guardrails get set up in place for this AI czar, so that when in future administrations, say that an administration that's not as permissive, how do you limit the effects of that influence? How do you limit the government intervention? You want to set up a position like that so that even when the worst possible person gets that job, they're doing the least amount of damage.
All right. As we watch here, just opening bell just ringing here on this Friday morning for the markets opening. The Dow closing in the red yesterday, just down about 248 points. We'll watch how the markets respond today as we close out the week. Speaking of closing out the week, a restaurant that has been closed for quite some time, Chi-Chi's, is making a comeback. The Mexican chain planning to open some new restaurants next year. The first since Chi-Chi's filed for bankruptcy protection back in 2003. So it's been 20 years, Brandon, since Chi-Chi's shuttered their doors. They're known for their Tex-Mex. They're known for their eclectic interior. When you go in, if you've dined at a Chi-Chi's, you may know. If not, you'll have your opportunity apparently to do so. Brandon, what does this tell you?
This is great news. Listen, my family text chain absolutely blew up yesterday when this news came down. We have very fond memories of eating fried ice cream on my birthday, on my sister's birthday. We're very excited that Chi-Chi's is coming back. It's a really important restaurant, and it's great to see just American businesses start to rebound. Hopefully this is a trend of something much bigger and more American success.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this is more of a regional thing, because I didn't grow up around a Chi-Chi's. So now, Thomas, I'm intrigued. And I'm excited. I feel like I should stop by. Fried ice cream, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, same. I actually didn't grow up with Chi-Chi's either. I grew up in the Northeast. I haven't been to a Chi-Chi's before. But like you said, like Brandon said, I hope this is a sign of things to come, more American success. And I think this story too is really what the American dream and what that pursuit of happiness is all about. It's not about guaranteed success. It's the ability to try, fail, and try again as many times as you're willing to pick yourself back up.
Yeah, it's encouraging news either way. Whether you dine there, if you didn't dine there, you see restaurants able to reopen again or to make some sort of comeback when they're closed for more than 20 years. And if you haven't, maybe you'll like those half-price appetizers. I think we all can use a discount here and there, especially heading into the weekend too. Thomas Savage and Brandon Arnold, also the holiday season. Thank you very much, and happy holidays to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jury